Turn me off.
Here we go. Got it. Everyone's going live. We're live on YouTube. It is, so I don't mess up the date, right? So November 9th. Here we go. We're in November 9th. It's a Tuesday. We all made it. We've missed many of our students. We see a lot of great faces today, but I'll acknowledge even some of the newer names that I see here. First of all, we have our dearest Anne. Hi, Anne. You shifted places on us, so we got a different view. We have Patricia. We have Chukwuemeka. Great to see you, Chukwuemeka.
Hi, Karen.
Leon, my goodness. Leon, you're here. Hey, good to see you. Leon from Australia. Leon and I go back from the day one that I started doing these daily success calls. Can you say hi? Do we hear you, Leon?
Oh, there he is.
Oh, we can't hear him. Okay. But really nice. He used to always start our conversations by, hi, everyone from Australia, always driving. We would see him driving. Hi from Sydney, he would say. Great to see you, Leon. Always great to see our students. Allison, welcome. Amber's here. Great to see you. Cassandra, welcome. Might be a newer name for me. Catherine and Kathy's here. Welcome. Welcome to our daily success calls, Kathy. Elizabeth and Ethel's here. Great to see you, Ethel. Evelyn, Gail, Gloria, and Jay. Hi, Jay, Jamie, and Karen. Welcome, Karen. Double Karen today. Hi, there you are. Good to see you. Ketelin, hi. And there's our Joe and Kelly. We know they go together. Nicole and Patricia there. You see that we had a Patricia. And I was wondering, is it our Patricia? We have Patricia A and Patricia here, both online with us. Yep, two Patricias. Pauline is here. Welcome. Rebecca, Sarah, Scott is here. Sibo, hey, how are you? Zita and Jamie, wonderful. We got lots of students here online, and hello to everyone watching the recording. Hi, Rebecca. If I didn't acknowledge you, I just saw you come in there. And really great to be here with all of you. So, you know, we were in a conversation. I almost got tempted to talk about time, but we'll save that one. We'll save that topic for another time because, you know, we did shift our clocks and all that. I thought it would be an interesting conversation to talk about the idea of pressure. Because as we entered, yeah, Patricia's agreeing. So as we enter this fourth quarter, Scott, for our conversation, there is this additional layer of pressure that's added onto us. Like, wow, we have to perform. We have to have all these buy buttons up there. We have to get the mugs uploaded. You know, this is the time. We need to make it. You know, now is the moment. And we often tend to add this pressure onto us. And pressure sometimes gets like a bad reputation, right? So let's kind of think about that for a moment, because if you ask an extreme athlete, you know, anyone who performs in very big competitions, we have NFL here coming up in just a little bit, or it's already ongoing, but you know, the big games are coming up for us here in the United States for football. And these athletes, they perform under extreme pressure. And sometimes you'll hear them say that, you know, from that pressure, the diamond forms, right? It's the diamond that we all search for when we go mining, right? All of us do. You know, forms under extreme pressure. And that's something to acknowledge so that we're able to revisit this idea of pressure. So it doesn't have to be something negative. We don't have to look at it in a negative way. We can actually look at, you know, if we set the right mindset and the right approach, we can begin to look at pressure as something that will lead to higher performance, to higher results, to, you know, this blend of an important time, which is now the fourth quarter. This is an important time. We all say it's now, it's important. So for the athlete, it's important to perform in that competition. For the let's think about some other examples from athletes that, you know, even a mother under pressure with all the children and trying to get around, you know, wrangle the day. So there's an important time because this is this moment. And oftentimes pressure is paired with uncertain circumstances. So we're not sure, how is our fourth quarter going to look like? The athlete is not sure what kind of rank they're going to rank in that competition. So we have these blend of these states. So it's a highly important time. There's uncertain circumstances. And we need to then use this pressure, this time, this opportunity is what it is that we're presented with. Right now, we have an opportunity. We are presented with an opportunity to perform at our peak performance in our best way in order to reap the results that we want, right? We've set our goals. We all know that. We've done that together. If you've just joined, you will definitely set your goals with us here on the Low Hanging System. It's something that we revisit time and time again to make sure that we are goal setting, that we know where we're headed, that our path is certain and sure, and we're not just winging it. We're not, whatever happens, but we have this sure goal of where we're headed. But there are these uncertain circumstances on our way. So we're doing our best. We're performing at our peak performance, and we're setting our intention, and we're doing all the things. And now here comes this added, pressure onto us, or added circumstance to our lifetime. And we need to now perform. We need to show up in our best way. And, sometimes pressure can be really linked to stress, right? We hear pressure, we hear stress. Oh, stress is not good for us. We don't want to, put added stress onto our lives. We want to relieve ourselves from stress. That's why we've started this business. So we definitely don't need to link those two ideas, pressure and stress. Okay. We can really make a distinction between the two, because stress can come at us and, we might not, stress is pushing onto me right now. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, am I going to do it or not going to do it? But with pressure, right? So that's that kind of the need to do something, right? We can distinguish between the two with a need to do something. Pressure is a situation where we can, it depends on the outcome of what we're doing right now. So it's not like, we're stressed out. We gotta do this. And maybe I don't want to do it. And there's all this, some people are expecting things from us, but pressure is this choice. Like if we go back to, like a basketball star, and they have chosen to be in this playoff match, they work their hardest and they're in the playoffs. And now using this pressure, the work and the, how we call it, when we come back time and time again. Practice that they've been doing time and time again to get to where they are, using the pressure of that match, not the stress, using the pressure of that match to perform higher or better is really, really important. So we can make this distinguish between the two and say, we're not inviting more stress into our life. Perseverance, that's another good one. That's right. We're inviting this, or we're engaging. That's a good one. We're engaging with this pressure that is being presented to us. And we're not looking at it as stress. We're looking at it as an opportunity to perform at our highest. So that kind of shifts things for us. We're like, okay, it's not this stressful time, because we're choosing to look at this moment, this opportunity, this fourth quarter, right? Like Scott says, don't jump into Valentine's yet. We're not in February. We're here in November and December. And we are realistically focusing on the time that matters. So, oftentimes, if we're trying to juggle many things, a mother is juggling all these things, we can see this as an added pressure. But if we choose to navigate our time, then we can pull the stress out of that. We can say, okay, I know that my evening is dedicated. I'm speaking even for myself. My evening time is dedicated for my children. And during the daytime, I can use this time that I have to dedicate to my practice, my Bowspring practice, my business, my online businesses, and my other businesses that I navigate on a daily basis. And I set up my schedule in a way that actually relieves stress for me, relieves, hey, Eddie, good to see you, relieves that idea that there is this external component that is pushing against me and not letting me move. That's a good definition between the two. If there is that stress where, it's holding you in place and not letting you navigate, versus pressure that is saying, hey, move a little bit more forward, squeeze a little bit over, because I want to, I want to move, I want to put more things into my day. Then this pressure, this idea of pressure can, it can elicit a different response from us. So it can enlist a physiological response from us. It can enlist a psychological response from us. We can say, okay, this is my time right now, fourth quarter right now, and I decide that I'm moving faster. I decide that I am going to upload more products to my business. I decide that, instead of my 5 mugs a day, I'm going to actually do 10 or 15. I know some of the students have even said that here on the call. I'm going to do 10 or 15, because maybe I missed my other 5, or maybe it is November and December. So I'm asking more from myself. So that elite athlete, basketball player, football player, whoever you want to imagine in your mind, is going to ask more from themselves during the playoffs, during those high pressure times when we can have a higher impact on our life, on the result on that scoreboard, right? If we're, again, with that athlete kind of idea, or if we want to perform better for our business. So it's really interesting to take a look at what these ideas, first of all, how they compute in my mind. So how do I look at pressure? Do I look at it as a negative thing, or can I look at it as something that might push me to perform better, that might ask a little bit more from myself? And when am I willing to entertain pressure more? When the external circumstances are at my highest advantage. So November, December. Thanks, Scott, for already being willing to share. I'm going to wrap it up in just a minute and give you the floor. And so, definitely when we think about the idea of stress, right, we can think, Patricia was talking about not sleeping. That can be a high stressor. When we don't sleep enough, when we're not eating well, when we're not exercising and moving our body, those things can be a stressor, okay, on our body. And you were mentioning you take a lot of vitamins and all the things that you kind of add into your diet. Okay, then those are great ways to reduce the stress in our life. But pressure, if we're able to differentiate between the two and just see it as this hand on your back, a lot of times when I'm adjusting students in the studio, I'll come and I'll just give a light pressure to their back so that they can feel their back body as well as the front. I'll give a light pressure on their hand so that they can lift up and lengthen. So that's often that light pressure that we add to something. If someone comes in and you're kind of seated in a row and someone, wants to sit next to you, you're giving a little pressure to the team and you need to scoot over. And then maybe that makes you sit up a little taller, right? Maybe that makes you look up on a higher vista, gives you a different perspective to look at when you're beginning to navigate this new business. So yeah, we'll reel it in tightly to our business now after I gave different examples from Lifetime. But can we really use this, let's call it a volume of pressure, this time, and see it as something that is encouraging? That's a great word for pressure. It's encouraging our peak performance. It's encouraging us to move a little bit faster, quicker, with more perseverance, Ethel says, with more resilience. That's another great word, in order to reap the rewards that we're here for. We're here for, reaching that goal, 60 million. One of our students once said, $1 million, 150,000 the first year, whatever you want to set your goal as for your goal, where you're headed, you're here for that. And you're here to engage and make sure that you are giving it your best. And when? At the playoffs. We're in the playoffs. At that moment of peak performance, at that moment in time where your teammates are rooting for you, we all are, right? And saying, yeah, can you make that extra 3 points, 6 points, whatever game you're watching, right? Whatever playoff you're into. And really be present in that moment to deal with the added pressure, so that you have, you've set your systems in place. You have your daily mode of operation. You have your way of engaging. You have your way of prioritizing. We talked about that a lot last time, prioritizing the areas that will then give you the energy that you need to be in your peak performance. So Patricia mentioned, vitamins and all that. We can talk about, prioritizing our schedule, our day, eating, sleeping, working out. And then that you can really embrace that pressure for the long haul, right? Because we're in it to win it. We're not in it just for this fourth quarter. We're in it for all the fourth quarters, and to make sure that every fourth quarter will be better and better than the next. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted us to talk about today. And I hope I touched a couple of you here with this opening talk. I see Scott is willing to share. I want to say before you unmute, Scott, that this is a safe space to share. This is where we all share our wisdom from our lifetime with everyone else, to inspire each other to be our best. And really, each one of you has so much to offer, everyone in this community. If you were here in the beginning, we were missing those who did not show up for a while. So please feel free to unmute yourself to share. There are never any wrong answers, and we're always excited to hear from you. Scott, please share with us. Yes.
Well, with that, geez, yes, so right. Everybody, please share, bring yourself forward. And I think I'm really I have so much gratitude for myself being able to share myself, what I'm going through, and then even helping others too. It is such a meaningful, delightful enjoyment. The abundance that you get from it is unbelievable. But back to this pressure. I'm writing things down for sure. You started out with pressure, and I'm like, what is pressure? Well, a lot of different types of pressure, and there's air pressure, there's vacuum, there's gravity, there's atmospheric, all these different pressures. But in our self pressures, I kind of looked at it like, well, I have my self pressures. What do I do? My goals are my pressure, and my measurement. Now, is my measurements are my pressures too? Am I meeting my measurements and my goals? And it's like, that reality of saying I want to have realistic goals too that I could meet, so I don't beat myself up and create too much pressure, which we can turn into stress. But most stresses are usually from an outsource of something that causes our stress. So really, to say that we can stress ourselves out with pressure is pretty ridiculous when we have full control over our own self pressures. And so I'm just taking it from this, that Russ never sleeps. Why should I? I want to set realistic goals, and I'm going to release those pressures as I meet them. But I don't want to set myself up for stress when it's just my own pressure that's causing it. So it is controllable. And I think that if I know how much to put in a tire, I know how much to take out so it doesn't over implode too. But also, I don't want to ride on a flat tire also. That's about what I got out of this, Karen.
I love Thank you so much. Scott. That's a fabulous example. And yes, a flat tire versus a full pressure tire. That's a great example, because that shows us how pressure can be a good thing, because the tire is all full. You don't want to drive a car with one tire is flat and you're kind of wobbling around and destroying the car on the way, right? That's a stressor. That flat tire is a stressor on the whole situation, but the right amount of pressure in the wheels.
You ride better. You ride better.
We can measure it. Wow.
Smoother.
Yeah.
You have less wear and tear on yourself too.
That's a great example. Right. And because, we use these words like the slang, no pressure, right? Kind of like, we know that we can push on each other, ourselves and others. And so that was such a great example with the car, looking at how pressure, the right amount of pressure, not stressing ourselves out, like you said, Scott, and we all need to do that self-observation. I can't tell you what the right amount of pressure for you is, right? You have to do that work. Yeah, you wanted to say? But that
pressure helps me create. It gets me motivated. Yes. It does so much for me that it says, like you're saying, it puts a little pressure on me to have to explore, do more for myself, because it's just me. I think that TED's talk with that Kelly was a good example. How she talked about how we can become more creative with some of these things if we learn how to manipulate them within ourselves.
Yeah, very good. Very good. I love it. Thanks, Scott. Love hearing from you always. It's a great, great, great share there. Eddie.
Come on
Great,
out,
Eddie.
Eddie.
I know. Come on out.
Hello, everybody.
Oh,
Oh, goodness. Well, I'm trying to figure out how to start this because, see, I learned something about pressure when I was 21 and 23. Both times I was rushed to the emergency room from my job for collapsing. And the doctors both times said, well, sir, there's really nothing wrong with you. You just seem to be under a lot of pressure. And that made me think about what's his name? Gosh. You cannot deal with pressure. Dun, 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 dun,
Oh,
dun,
okay. I
dun.
was thinking David Bowie and
That's
Queen.
Billy,
Under
Billy
pressure.
Joel. Billy
oh
Joel.
my
Billy Joel.
God.
Billy Joel.
Yeah, and I remember that song, but I became
You're
an
bad,
expert.
Scott.
I became an expert at dealing with stress because I educated myself about it because I didn't want to feel like that again. I mean, I'm talking about all of a sudden you can barely see, your head's thumping, putting big blocks of ice on the back of your neck to try to get the stress off you.
Yeah.
But I was a full-time college student. I had a full-time job. I was a single parent. And I had a lot of things on my shoulders, but I never thought of it as pressure. I didn't know what that was, but see, your body knows. And it's telling you, okay, it's all right to do these things, but you must manage this. That's what I learned. See, you see how cool I just talk when I'm speaking up here? No, I'm serious. This is no accident. I did not want to experience that again. So I learned how to get up in front of people and make it look so effortless. And when you do that, magic happens. Because what I learned about quantum mechanics, i.e. law of attraction, universal law, whatever you want to call how the universe works, it's not supposed to be hard.
That's right. That's right.
It's supposed to be easy. I'm going, that doesn't make sense because everybody tells me, you need to work hard. Get out there and grind it. I'm at Walmart and they get on, I'm telling you, my full-time job is at Walmart. I work in meat, produce, frozen, 41 to 32 degrees in an area nobody will work. We always have turnover there. And I'm wearing coats and stuff, but I'm always giggling and laughing with the customers. If you want to know where it is, they say, sir, can you tell me where that slap your mama's kind of seasoning is? I say,
Slap your mama.
and I say, well, it's right over here, and I'm pointing at. I say, and they say, where you at? I say, well, look, let me go, and I'm gonna show you. See it right there, and I say, yeah, and I'm telling you, don't slap your mama, but you understand what it said. But I have all kind of wonderful interaction with clients, and people get on me because they say, Eddie, no, really, how do you break the rules like you do, running your mouth all the time, and still get the work done? What's your secret? My coworkers ask me that. My bosses don't know what to say to me because you don't really want to discourage a person like me because I'm always happy. I'm on to work on time, in uniform, ready to work, and smiling. So they don't want to discourage somebody, like, they're still going, and you always, but he's so weird. Yes, I'm who I am. And I'm happy about it because I used to not be who I am. Pressure is when you're being somebody you're not. Now, it took me, I'm 65. It took me a long time. I'm looking at Patricia Street and I never have gotten her out of my mind. And she's smiling now. She doesn't understand, and I'm gonna say this to her, because she said this publicly. If you can help me with this, she used the word battalion when she was talking. She don't understand. She's already been groomed to run a conglomerate corporation. No, seriously. Skills are transferable.
Mm-hmm.
She's going. I heard her say things like, "Well, there's things I'm trying to forget." well, you're not gonna be able to forget them. And I know what you're talking about. I couldn't forget the things I told y'all about that bothered me. They still in my head. That's why I learned to meditate. That's why I learned all these tricks of the trade that come from the universe, because you don't want to forget them because they shaped you. That's the real pressure. It pressured and shaped you into this diamond that you will become.
Diamond. There you go. The diamond in the rough. That's it, Eddie.
And I'm telling y'all, when I get up and speak, people get quiet. Even when it's in the break, even when we're in the break area. I'm not talking about formal things. We in the break area. And they don't know what I might do, because I might get up and say, and I know you wanna leave me, but I refuse to let you go. If I have to beg and plead for your sympathy, I don't mind, because you mean that much to me. Oh no. I know I start something like that in the break area and they think this guy's crazy. No, I'm getting rid of the stress and I'm gonna have a good day.
There you go.
I don't tolerate sleepless nights. I don't like that. Every once in a while it happens. But the only reason it happens because if you go to bed with stuff on your mind, you're gonna have a sleepless night. If you meditate before you go to bed and talk, and I'm talking about get hold of the pillow, hug it and say, "Oh, you lovely pillow." I mean, oh gosh, it feels so good. I got to. What it does is it pushes away whatever it is. You taking your mind off whatever's stressing you, and you got to think about that pillow. And your mind doesn't know whatever. But see, I'm telling y'all this. Right now, I'm listening to it and I'm running my mouth so much. But there's so much genius here. I mean, Karen is bringing it. Like a fighter with 2 fists up, just bringing it. And you better, I'm serious, and Scott, this facilitator, he's now got to learn something about marketing, because he's not talking about marketing. I got all these things, yeah. But now you got to tell somebody about it because it's up there. You've opened up shop and ain't told nobody you're open. Karen, gosh, you're lovely. But Patricia Street, I'm telling you, that red-haired horse is your thing. No, I'm not joking. Look.
Fire mare.
That is that. That's your marketing thing right there. You put the stuff up. I'm Fireman, the furious marketer of mugs, cups, and things. Put that up there and people go, what the heck is this? They got to come out of curiosity. Really? No, this is not as hard as we think it is. I haven't even put my effort into this business like I want to, because I'm still working on speaking, writing, and coaching. But I know what I want to put on my mugs and shirts. I'm a shirt reader. Our Walmart, everybody's got a shirt on. I'm going, wow, you too young to know about Led Zeppelin. What you wearing that for? I just like the design. So somebody just put up a design and somebody buy the shirt. I mean, it's always ways, and it's so simple right in your face. I was in charge of a battalion, and I was always worried about I might kill somebody. But that's beautiful. You got empathy. You care. I was dead in the childcare business. I promise you, I'm about to cut this off. A boy was hanging off the edge of an escarpment in the South Carolina mountains. Seriously, one of my kids. And they didn't know where it was. And I said, oh my God, I'm not a mountain climber. I'm African-American, I promise you. We don't climb mountains. I was the only one, they said you got to go. So I was the only one out there. All these other people that are mountain people, and I'm out there because they said I just got on the job, but this kid was about to die. And I said, all right, God, I know why you got me here, but you got to help me because I got back problems, one spasm, we both gonna die. I'm not joking. I crawled out there on the edge and I'm looking down here, there's cars down there crushed up, big old gap, big rocks. I'm saying, oh my God. And I grabbed him and I said, young man, calm down. You got to save me, you got to say, I said, calm down. Remember the rap tune. Left hand, left foot. Right hand, right foot. Move your body. Of course, I didn't clap. But I got him off that rock. Then he had to talk me back. But this is your mind working for you. All you need is right there, and you got to ask for it. Just like I asked for a group like this, so I can do what I do. Thank you very much for the opportunity to share.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you,
I
Eddie.
appreciate this, and I apologize for being so loud there.
No, you said a couple of really good things. You talked about working wise, which is definitely something that I always encourage as well. You know, working wise versus working hard. Another one of those words that we can get really attached to. Oh, I work hard. I work hard. Okay, well, let's work wise, like starting this business, like having an extra stream of income coming in versus the hard working schedule that we're all used to. And then the other thing that you talked about is really like eliminating the sources of pressure that distract you or don't help you grow. So, you said I had all these things that really weighed on me and I felt very stressed. I ended up in the hospital. Well, you eliminated the ones that are not helping you. They're not pushing you forward. It's not that tap on the back saying, hey, let's go. It's not the playoffs, where you're like, all right, I'm using all the energy from the crowd to really get in that basket or whatever. You're pushing the ones that don't work, that don't align with your purpose, that don't align with your goals out, gone. And you're using the ones that do work for you to get you to where you want to go. So this was a really great share and everybody enjoyed it. So let's hear from Joe. And then we got Patricia and we will wrap it up for the day. Joe, let's hear from you. We missed you.
Well, you talk about pressure. We're getting ready for Thanksgiving here.
Uh-huh.
That's pressure on us who have to. I just turned 70.
Wow.
And I
really?
have never never known a day that I haven't got up and thanked the world for being here, because
right.
I love what I do. But we're trying to get Kelly, we're going to get Kelly out of working the 9 to 5. Although she's got one fantastic job, career. I went to college with polio. Nobody paid for my college. I didn't know you could do that. And I told her when she's my caregiver. So now I'm giving back to get her out of that 9 to 5. Even though she's making very good money, she went to college and graduated in 2015. She took me on a cruise, about killed me. I said, I don't know what people see about these boats. Thanks, but no thanks. But no pressure, because I just turn around and go over there. Anytime I take a break, I go work on my art. And my dad told me, whatever God takes away from you, he gives you ample back. So artists, there isn't any kind of art I can't do. So she's putting the pressure on to get busy and get the designs made up for February.
There you go.
So, hey, I enjoy your conversations because they hit home. They are like, you live every day as if it's your last.
That's right.
Love you guys. Miss
We
you.
love you, Joe. Good to see you. Patricia. And I think Anne had her hand up as well. Anne, did you still want to speak today, or did we lose you in there? Okay. Maybe we lost her. Patricia.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. Did you still want to speak? Because I saw your hand up there.
I think I will. I wasn't going to get a little too sentimental back there, but anyway. Yeah, I went through an awful lot of stuff over the last 12 years. I gave a kidney to my son, who passed away 2 years ago.
So I'm sorry.
Well, thank you. It's all good now. I mean, he's, believe me, in a whole lot better place. So it's been a lot of stress stress, pressure, stress, like, you know what I mean, for years. And you get numb from it after a while. It's like you can't handle it anymore. So you just, everything, you turn everything off. It's like you watch him in pain, but you don't feel the pain anymore because I can't do that, or else I'm no good to him. Like, so what you were talking about, the pressure and the stress. I started sewing mitts again, which is what I'm doing right now.
Oh, it's
Hey,
beautiful.
opening up another store and putting them on. And I'm trying to get like 20 of them at least to start. I got 20 more ready to go. So I'm going to get those online. this
You
week.
get them.
Yay.
I put extra pressure on me when you were talking about it. I put extra pressure on me, but I don't look at it as pressure. I look at it as opportunity. That's exactly what I
There
did.
you go. That's
And I
it.
do know that I'm under pressure, but I don't mind it at all. I work well under pressure, actually. So
Yes.
yeah,
That's another great
So-
combination of words, you know, working well
Mhm.
under pressure. And
Yeah.
thank you for taking us on that whole journey. And you know, as a
Mm.
mother, my heart,
oh,
Yeah.
you'll
all
know
my
it when my
love to you.
you'll know it when my book is out because I got a half
All
written.
right.
I
I'll
just
look
haven't had
for it.
time to get back to it. I
I'll
had to
look
wait
for
a
it.
couple of years. I couldn't do it otherwise, you know. But I'm
I'll
gonna do
look
it
for it.
because he encouraged
it-
me to do it.
There
He
you
did.
go.
Yeah, he said
That's
right from your perspective, Mom.
And you're
Mom, she
able to
got
now see
4
the
of 'em.
difference. You're able to see the difference
Yeah.
between what was stress and what is pressure and what
Yeah.
can move you forward and get you to where you want to go, and what was dragging you down and making you numb and not letting you
Yeah.
even perform the way you
Mhm.
needed to, so crucially, like so
You know-
like life.
Do you know what though? I started the mitts 3 years ago. He was still around. I mean, I went away to Edmonton, Alberta, and helped him for a number of months. He lost his vision. He lost his leg. He had heart stents put in, crazy stuff. And even got his truck stolen once that I was driving, got stolen. We had to find that. And it was unreal what happened in that 1 year alone, 2018. You think 2020 was bad? So yeah, that's why I have to worry about it. I have to. I got to get it out.
There you go.
So what was I getting at? Oh, the mitts. Yeah, I started them when he was upstairs at my daughter's place. I was staying at her place to help him because he was in a wheelchair. And that's what I would, and then he would land in the hospital every second week. So I would be at home and I was like, my daughters, you know, nothing, like I can't sit, you know, do nothing. I'm cleaning all the time. I started sewing mitts then, and it was at the insistence of my sister, who also passed away 5 months after my son did. But this is why when I called my store Quirky Dawn Words, her last name was Dawn, and it was my grandson who thought up the name, and I think you might have seen it.
Yes, I remember.
And so it's all tying together, you know. It was just like she's calling out to me or something. She's saying, "Do something with your mitts, Annie. I told you about those mitts in Alberta." She said, "They were
There
so."
you go.
She said, "Get at
Yeah.
it." So I did. And I was doing it even while she was still here. And now I'm still doing it because I'm thinking, you know what? She was right and I should keep at it. So I'm going to keep at it.
Beautiful.
Hopefully the mugs sell too. I don't know.
There you go. There you go. You're doing it. You're doing it. You're making it happen, and you're creating your diamonds. You know, you're using
Yeah.
that pressure and
I'll have
everything
the
that
time now
happened.
too. Yeah.
And it's a lot. I'm not saying I'm not taking. I'm totally validating where you are and what you're going through. And I hear you, and I send you all my love and hugs and support. But you know, we are here to transform, and we are here to take that whatever happened, whatever experiences we had, to create and transform into something like a diamond, into your gold. And you will, you know, you just keep at it. You know, I always hear from you. You're always super positive and you have some beautiful things to share. And, you know, I think it also, hearing your story amongst everyone here on the call and maybe even later, you're inspiring. You chose
Yes.
not to wither away and succumb to all the stress and the sadness. You chose life. And hopefully, I don't know what your belief system is, but I believe that we all have a soul, and the soul is everlasting, and that energy continues on. And so, yes, I mean, this lifetime might have ended for some, but the spirit and the soul and that energy goes on forever. And so maybe that, if that resonates with you, great. If not, then I honor every belief system and any, you know, whatever you do believe in. But I salute you for where you are now. That's what is important in that story, and what you're doing and how you're creating and with your family members and keeping the memory alive and just, you know, going for it. So thank you for sharing, Anne. Always love to hear from you. Big love to you. Patricia.
Hi. And before I do this, would you please honor us by telling us his name?
Oh, you're
You're-
on mute.
You're mute.
You're muted.
I said, strangely enough, I mentioned the video the other day. You weren't on, I don't think, but I mentioned a video the other day that, it was in the after meeting. Scott would have heard it, about Phil Maton. He's a pitcher in the World Series.
Uh-huh.
There's an interview of him talking to the guys like after the game, and he is the spitting image of my son. It's
Oh.
unbelievable watching him on video. So I got him up here like saved, so I look at it every now and then.
Okay.
It's literally his doppelganger. There's no doubt about it. So Stephen, his name is Stephen Crane.
Stephen. Okay.
Crane, yeah, that's it. Turns out that name was an author from years and years ago too.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was his name, Stephen. Yeah.
Well, I wanted to tell you, thank you for introducing us to him. And I
Well,
know that he must have been an amazing young man because you were his mother.
give me 1 second. Be him.
Oh,
If you see the
Yes.
video, it's
he's a
crazy
good
how
looking man.
he was 16 there. He died at 39 years old.
Oh,
But he
wow.
looked nothing like that when he did. So nothing like
Well,
that.
he was good looking. Well, anyway, thank you for introducing us. And like Karen said, I don't know what your belief system is, but I believe that all the spirits who have gone are still with us at some point. My grandmother is my guardian angel, and every time I get down, I think about her. And for some reason, wherever I am, and I don't care what radio station it is, the song "How Great Thou Art" will start playing. And it's my grandmother telling me I'm with you, you know. So
Mhm.
anyway, I know that when you're down, I feel that he's there with you. So let him help you with your stress now because you helped him. And
Oh, I
it
do, don't
really
you worry.
touched my heart. Yeah.
He had many words of wisdom for a guy going through what he went through, you know. I mean, kidney
Well, you touched
transplant, heart
our
transplant,
heart.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
And it just, I love hearing that. And I'm really glad that I was on today so I could hear you say that.
And I miss you too, Pat.
I didn't really plan on bringing it up or anything. I'm not muted now, am I? No.
Nope, we can hear you. You're okay.
Well,
His 18-year-old daughter, Tegan, lives in Alberta in Fort McMurray, and I want to teach her, hopefully get her on board with this type of thing eventually.
good.
Because she's
Yeah.
just starting out, you know.
You can do it,
Well, that'll be
Grandma.
cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You can do
Well,
it.
I wrote down things, so I'm going to read y'all what I wrote down all along when Karen was talking, and then when Eddie started talking. That the first thing Karen talked about was realistic goals. That's where I have my problem. I have thousands of goals that go out there, and I have to stop and go, wait a minute. I need to pull some in and let the others kind of float around me and let me think about them for a little bit. So this is how I try to do things. And being in this group every day, I'm remembering that this is what I need to do, because a lot of these things that I talk about, I used to do all the time. So stress was like my heroin. It got me going. It got me happy. I could do anything I wanted to do. I was like queen of the world. If I had stress, if I didn't have stress, I was bored, you know, and stress was, and I always had it in control. I never let it control me. But as I've gotten older, I've forgotten that I need to control it. And so that's why I had 6 heart attacks in 2 days, is because I forgot to control it myself and it controlled me for a while. So I'm trying to get that back. But anyway, sometimes we can't control it. And when we can't do it, then we have to put it aside and say, wait a minute, let's think about this. Let's talk about this to ourselves. See, I talk to myself all the time because I'm a great conversationalist. And so I sit there.
You are.
Thank you. And my psychology professor said one time, he said, you can talk to yourself, you can argue with yourself. When you lose that argument, that's when you need to come see me. Well, I've lost arguments I don't know how many times, so I must be crazy. But anyway, okay. Where was it? Can't be like that. Learn to make
You're
business.
all right, Pat.
Oh.
We all love you.
Thank you. Learn to make business. Who was it? John, Mr. John. He talks about every day he comes on. He says, I love my business. I love my life and what I do. And I want to ask him sometime, what is it about all this that you love? Because you say you love it. All right, tell us what it is that you love. And so I'm going to ask him one day that.
I can tell you. I can tell you. I love this too.
Yeah, go
Well,
tell us,
yeah.
Karen.
Tell
Well,
us, Karen.
I love the human connection. I love the interaction. I love inspiring people to be the best version of themselves. I love, even the topics that I bring, these are things that I am myself processing through my day and using these tools in order to manifest my dreams. You talked about realistic goals, we always shift those goals, right? The practice is also to continuously push so that we don't remain with the ceiling. I like to say, shoot for the stars, land on the moon. So even if, your realistic goals for this holiday season are one thing, your ultimate goals should be something else. Why not have 5 million in your bank? Why not have 60 million in your bank? But right now, for where you are, Patricia, if you only have, 100, 300 products up on Etsy, Amazon, whatever, then set the realistic goal to double that. Set the realistic goal to triple that, so it doesn't have to be tied directly to that 1 million or 6 million or 60 million, but you're still reaching there. Right. And not limiting yourself. So, that's kind of that practice. What else do I love about this job? I love the opportunities. I love that it's flexible. I love that it's interactive. It's changing all the time. I don't have a 9 to 5 kind of thing. I don't have people, above me saying things, it's all everyone is together in this, and we all do our thing really gracefully and with a lot of love. So that's kind of in a nutshell, if you ask.
Thank you. Yeah. I wish all of y'all would tell us that, because it really helps us to put our life into perspective and helps us think about, well, why are we here? We keep fussing about things. So what is it about that? Why are we doing it? If we don't like it, well, we do like it. And this is why, and that kind of stuff. Okay. Now, my family used to joke around, and anytime we saw something we didn't like, we'd say, well, when I'm dictator of the world, I'm going to stop that, And our big thing was, our first main important thing to do was, when I'm dictator of the world, salads will no longer be served on a plate. They will always be served in a bowl, so they don't go tipping off the sides. Okay, so that's the big one. Now, Eddie, Mr. Eddie, I don't know why I have come into your life the way I have, but I'm glad. I'm very glad, and you are very precious to me, because I learn from you. Every time you get on here, you remind me of things that I sometimes know but have forgotten, and sometimes I don't know and I'm learning. So thank you for that. But I do want to tell you that I thought about last night about naming my company Fire Main.
There you go.
Yeah. Awesome. And it was for the reason that Eddie said. I had a name called Street Savvy. That's one of our names that we use. But somebody in Houston, Texas decided to make an LLC out of it. So I can't use Street Savvy now. But nobody has Fire Main. So I think I'm going to do it, because that's kind of been my go-to imaginary friend.
You can have flames coming out. Coming out of the
horse. Yeah, now you're talking.
I've got a picture of this horse rearing up, and the flame, the mane is just really long mane and a long flowing tail, and it's all fire, and it's absolutely gorgeous. But anyway, I think I'm going to do that. And what was my other thing that I was going to tell you? Apparently it wasn't important, because I can't remember it. But anyway, thank you for letting me share. And Eddie, thank you for all what you say, because I truly love you, honey. You have made me a better person by listening to you, as all of y'all have. All of y'all have. That's why I come on here. And that's why I say that y'all are my meditation time. I come on here and I listen and I talk, and the world stops for a few minutes. And everything that's bothering me, every pressure that I have just kind of goes away, and I can enjoy and I can think on here while I'm listening to y'all, because my brain goes at 1,000 miles a minute. I can think about, okay, let's put everything to perspective again. Let's start all over, write it all down, and do our goals the way we need to do it instead of pushing, because we are our worst pressure systems. We're the ones
Kathy's right.
that button. Yeah, and so we have to stop. So anyway, thank you, and I hope we all have a great day. And I got Amazon going last night.
Yeah.
We love that. We love that.
That was an exciting step for me, so I had to share. But thank you. And Karen,
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
you keep doing what you're doing, because you are absolutely super. I feel like I've known
They
you all.
don't know
Awesome.
what a precious diamond she is.
Yeah,
Awesome. Yes.
I think so too. Yeah, because you have a way of talking and saying things that
Get through.
each of us are different, but you grab a part of each of us. You can get to all of us somehow, and that's something precious to be able to have, is to talk to
Thank you.
everybody and everybody understand. So thank you.
Oh,
Okay, I'm
that
finished.
means the world to me. That means the world to me. Thank you. That is
You
like,
put
I
that
feel like that
energy
is,
out there.
was it?
You put that positive energy and it comes back.
Yeah.
I feel like that is my purpose in life. You know, I've always loved to be a teacher or to work with other people. You know, that was always my thing. So to hear
You're
that,
in
that's
it.
like the highest feedback that you can
Love
give
it.
me. It's like, so I appreciate that. Thank you, Patricia. I
Well,
love
it's the truth. It's the
I love
truth.
it.
Thank you.
you.
Love
Yeah.
you too, Patricia. Keep recording your thoughts, Bubba.
Thank you. Oh, Eddie, look, I love what Eddie just said.
Eddie's
Did
right.
you read that?
Yeah, he wrote to
I-
you also. So scroll up. He
Oh.
wrote to you a lot. Elizabeth, let's hear from you. And then we got to wrap it up. I got like calls back to back right after this. Elizabeth.
Okay. Can you hear
Oh,
me?
you're late.
Yes.
I just want to say pressure that you brought up today is just awesome.
Oh, thank you.
It's a pressure for me to come on and talk to begin with. This is like my first time on it. But I just want to say the pressure, when you have pressure, it's okay to cry also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For me, raising kids without a daddy is a pressure, you know, and crying a lot did help a lot. Now they're gone. I mean, now that they're grown up and on their own, it's just awesome to look back and see, this is what I did, you know. And now it's like to see my grandchildren is like, oh my Lord, you know. A lot of pressure, a lot of crying, but crying is good. It helps you to clean out, but you need to get up and go. You know, you can't just stay there. You get up and go. You know, so being here is awesome because it's a pressure for me to get up and talk about myself, but I hear everybody else say the same thing. You know, it's like, okay, one day I will do that, and here I am. You know, I am talking actually, you know, so that's it for me. But I love this. This is like a big, different family. You know,
Yes,
I love
I
it.
agree. I agree. I feel connected to everyone here. I love that, Elizabeth. And we are so excited that you did choose to share. And you're right. You felt the pressure. You felt like a force holding you back. Like, oh, I don't want to speak. I don't want to say in front of others. I don't want to do. But then now that you spoke, how do you feel inside? Now that you've shared with everyone and spoke up, how do you feel?
I feel wonderful. And I think I might have to hold myself back from not doing it all the time. It's like,
No,
it's
don't hold
nothing.
yourself back. It's a
good.
liberation. It's a freedom. You feel the freedom.
Yes.
It's wow. Now I'm free to express my voice and my words. And you see that everyone has a different way of expressing, but everything is truth and everything is good. And that's, you know, we're helping each other out. We're like, you're reaching a hand out into this group. And it's like, now you feel that, you know, that touch that, oh, we were speaking one-on-one. We've got this conversation going, and it's acknowledgement, really. It's acknowledgement for where you are and who you are, and what a beautiful journey you shared, and the pressure that you endured, and what you transformed all your children into diamonds. And that
Yes.
cycle of energy keeps on going and keeps on going and keeps on going. So
Gotta go.
Gotta go. It's good.
Gotta go, babies. I gotta get to work. Bye-bye, honey.
Okay, so yeah, we have to end
Bye.
it. It was great to hear from everyone.
Bye-bye.
Wonderful conversation.
Bye, everyone.
Love to all. Bye.